Fresh out of the holy city, Charleston, South Carolina, home of the Charleston Predators, who will play host to the Los Angeles Lycans here in Week 5 of the Simulation Football League, live on the league's YouTube channel. Welcome inside of Fort Moultrie Memorial Stadium, everybody. Eric Vincent alongside my partner Brett Solberg, Ron Haynes, and Gerald Smith in the stats truck for us this evening. And Brett, we've got two top 10 running backs coming in to face off against each other this evening.
Hold on a second. You're not Tyler Falk. Where's my normal broadcasting partner? Wait a second. Where am I right now? I know where I am. Charleston, South Carolina. Two power back battles here. This is going to be a battle of two fantastic running backs. Two of the top 10 running backs in this league. Logan Jack and Keith Swearingen both have made huge impacts to their teams right now. Both posting great running numbers. Both top 10 in the league, with Charleston having the number 2 offense in the SFL, averaging 37 points a game and 437 yards a game. This is going to be a fantastic offensive battle. I don't know about you, Eric.
I'm definitely ready to go for this one. This should be a very spicy matchup between these two teams. Charleston coming out in the all-black threads, and LA coming out with the all-white threads. Makes it very easy on my colorblind eyes. And we've got a great matchup coming up here. Kickoff in just a moment. So Charleston will handle the opening kickoff. LA will receive to start things off. Shea Carroll and company back to do the return duties. And Brad Bretchett is ready to go here at home in Charleston. Fielded from about his own goal line, Shea Carroll with a spin move, and he's going to make it out to the 23-yard line. That is where we will see Sully Richardson in his 4th season in an LA Lycans uniform come on out and lead the offense. What should we expect from this offense here, Brett?
It's going to be heavy doses of Logan Jack, a lot of handoffs. He's 3rd in the league coming into this week in carries with 87, whereas Sully Richardson's going to kind of pepper things in between, but expect a lot of Logan Jack. But they're going to start off shotgun here.
From the gun, sidecar left is going to be Logan Jack. Richardson going to throw the opposite direction, far sideline. Got a receiver, and that's LZ Pryor with the first catch of the ball game. Game of 7. We will look at the offense for the Lycans here quickly. Sully Richardson at quarterback, number 6. Logan Jack at running back with Tommy Rahman, the fullback, in the backfield. LZ Pryor, Chris Lee, Shea Carroll, the wide receivers. Jack Flash at tight end, along with Jamarcus Candy, Vladimir Dunham, and Bob Dunham along the offensive line. 2nd and 3. Richardson to throw again, this time going near sideline and a bit too far. I think Logan Jack did make the catch, but it's going to be a gain of maybe a half a yard, bring up 3rd and short.
And there you see it right there. They start off with a pass, just a quick out route to LZ Pryor, who looks to be the number 1 option instead of Shea Carroll, who we thought would be the number 1 heading into this season. And then they go with a dump off pass to Logan Jack, and it looked like they maybe got half a yard out of it. Sets up this 3rd and 2.
Got to load up the backfield here. Jack looking for some room, and he's got nothing. Charleston buried him in the backfield. It looked like that was a couple of the linebackers getting in there making the stop. Actually, it was defensive end Thomas Matthews getting in there with company for a loss of 3 on the play. Makes it a 4th and long.
Yeah, they had a strong safety kind of blitz in on that left side as well, and John Stamango kind of joined in with that joint tackle. Fantastic work from Charleston to get this early 3 and out on a Lycans team that desperately needs to get on hot starts in the first halves.
So Charleston will set up with good starting field position. Good spin move there from Saren Storm, the returner, and he'll bring it out to the Charleston 48-yard line, starting from almost midfield. Is the Predators offense led by number 5, Kentez Johnson, in his 2nd season, his first full season in a Charleston uniform.
Yeah, replacing TD Drew in the middle of last season, and did pretty respectable here. Already among the top quarterbacks in passing touchdowns with 10, with 6 of them getting to his running back, Keith Swearingen. And off to start things off, and that's going to be to Swearingen. He is going to be the focal point
of this offense. We'll go to look at the rest of the offense here after he gets maybe a half a yard on that play. Johnson at quarterback, Swearingen running back. Terrell Sutherland is the fullback in the backfield there with Swearingen. Christopher Ochoa, Saren Storm, Davius Reed, the former Lycan, are the wideouts. Dusty Rourke at tight end. Dusty Wilson, Damian Robichaud are on the offensive line. Johnson in trouble. He's going to dish it out to the fullback Sutherland, and he'll not make it out of the backfield there. Good wrap-up by number 42, Tazzy Blackwell.
Yeah, and both defenses so far definitely giving the opposing offenses a challenge here with these first two plays. Swearingen getting no gain, and John Kentez being forced to throw his check down option for no gain.
He's going 4 wide this time on 3rd and long. Slant across the middle. First down, yardage out across the 43 to about the 40-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 40, and that'll be a first down.
Yeah, and that's what Charleston needs to do with Kentez Johnson. They don't need him to really wait too long in the pocket. Just sling that rock as quickly as you can. Get that ball out of his hands, and especially on slant routes. And when you're wide open like that, you're going to get that quick and easy first down.
Christopher Ochoa with the catch. Run formation this time around. Johnson going to sling it out to Swearingen. Flag on the play. Slips the first defender and gets gang tackled just past the line of scrimmage, and we'll see what the penalty marker is all about.
It looked like the right tackle looked to hold on that, and that's the exact call that they're going to make on there. Is going to be that offensive holding call. Negate the 1 yard, and they're going to push him back for a first down and 20, perhaps.
Dusty Wilson, the left guard, the guilty party there. And a bit of a rough one there as it was a screen pass. Really wasn't any real need to hold that close to the line of scrimmage on that swing. But that backs him up 1st and 20 into midfield. Offset eye, Johnson under center. Kentez, pocket collapsing, tipped up in the air and incomplete. Good adjustment made by the linebacker, Buddy Blaze, to tip that one up there, Brett.
Yeah, it was a one-on-one battle. Starting off there, and Buddy Blaze, seeing that the swing pass wasn't going to happen, his primary guard was to be on Keith Swearingen on the swing pass, but he backs up just a little bit and just enough to get his hands on the football to deflect on a wide receiver, turning a one-on-one onto a two-on-one in favor of the defense. So great awareness from Buddy Blaze.
Now 2nd and a country mile from midfield. Offset eye once again. Johnson. This time, going to find Swearingen coming out of the backfield. Good spin move, and he'll get gang tackled close to the 40, back to the original line of scrimmage, but they'll mark him down at the 42. It's still going to be 3rd and 12.
Yeah, it's still going to be a 3rd and 12 situation here. Not a bad run after the catch from Swearingen. That's what you're going to see a lot of out of this Charleston offense, is a lot of these dump passes to Swearingen. He's had a bunch of receptions already in this season, about a combined 120, 130 touches between receptions and catches.
Johnson wants to air it out, tipped and caught. What a catch made by Christopher Ochoa as he was able to locate the football. He's got 2 catches already tonight for 30 yards, and none was bigger than that one.
Yeah, and you don't see that too often, where a wide receiver kind of just bobbles the first catch and he still manages to stay in position. Usually with the motion of your momentum, you still move forward and you get away from the football, but he stays intact so that he's still available to grab that catch. Just an amazing job from Christopher Ochoa.
So the passing game is looking good for the Predators to start things off. 4 of 5 for 37 yards is Kentez on this drive. This time he'll hand it off to Swearingen. Good burst of speed up the middle, and he will get it inside the SFL red zone to the 17-yard line.
And you're going to see a lot of this from Keith Swearingen. He's going to get those big runs, and it all is dependent on that offensive line, especially that left side where you see Dusty Wilson especially. He's probably one of the better guards in this league. If he can open up a lot of open pass for Swearingen, he's going to get those 6 yards.
Swearingen again, but collapsing down is the Lycans defense, and that was led by number 25, Mike Scott, the corner that came in there and wrapped him up for a loss.
Yeah, this time they went with a corner pursuit, the Los Angeles defense, and it worked, paid great dividends to them as they got to Swearingen right away, and that's going to be the key for Los Angeles' defense, to basically neutralize Keith Swearingen both on the dump pass and the run.
Trips towards the top of the formation, 4 wide. Swearingen the lone back. Kentez under center. Short drop. Sidearms it over the middle. Dangerous pass and incomplete. He was looking for a receiver right over in the middle of the field, but again, Tazzy Blackwell making a good play, and that forces a field goal attempt.
Looking from this perspective here, it was basically a ball thrown right to Tazzy Blackwell, and it was pretty lucky that the interception didn't happen there, just with two Charleston receivers kind of in that vicinity still, but from that trajectory, it looked like it was going right to Tazzy Blackwell's hands.
So Brad Brechet will line up for about a 35-yard field goal here from the near hash. Snap gets down, and the kick is through from 35 yards. Charleston on the board first. 3-0 is your score. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. 11 plays, 33 yards, capped at Brechet, and that is our first points of the ball game as LA gets another crack at the football here. Decent return for Shea Carroll as he makes it out to the 25. That's where LA will take over once again. And the 3-and-out to start things off, Brett, not what the doctor ordered, but what sort of adjustments do you anticipate here?
We didn't see a lot of Logan Jack on that the first set of plays that we saw from Los Angeles. It was just the one dump pass that could have been argued that was an incompletion. So we should expect to see more Logan Jack here in this drive.
Jack with the carry, and he's going to get a good chunk of 6 yards near sideline towards the 31-yard line. We've got an injured Predator on the field. Looks like that's Eric Hammer, one of the linebackers. And we hope that he is okay. Second season here in Charleston. I didn't quite see what happened. We'll have to get a look at the replay.
Yeah, it just seemed to be a key block there from looked to be Jack Flash, the tight end, trying to just get some extra yards for Logan Jack to push through. Just an awkward landing for Eric Hammer, and then if he's out for the rest of the game, that could be big on their running defense as Los Angeles will probably continue to go Logan Jack's way here.
Backs in the backfield this time for LA. Handoff to Jack. Couple spin moves. Third spin moves. Fifth spin move. Still on his feet. And he gets first down yardage out to the 37-yard line. What a run there by Logan Jack.
And that's probably the toughest 6 yards that you'll ever see here in the SFL. Logan Jack just going through the spin cycle, and it seemed like he was just like impossible to touch, just trying to get through everyone, and still manages to get that first down.
Going 5 wide this time for Richardson. Quick fires a pass towards the far sideline. Big hit. And that's going to be a gain of about 5 or 6. Tackle made by Mark Martin, the corner. We'll get a look at the Predators' defense here quickly. Thomas Matthews, John Lawley, and Moore Rivers, along with Robert Cherry along the front four. Ace Singletary, Kevin Brackett, Jack Brown, and Eric Hammer, who you saw go down earlier, are the linebackers. Jacob Clear, Mark Martin, and Sam Blotten are the corners. Ricky Thornton and John Stamango are the safeties. 2nd and 4 now. Richardson over the middle. Got a receiver across midfield to the 42-yard line. Big play there by Chris Lee.
Yeah, and sometimes with this wide receiver set, you kind of mainly focus on Shea Carroll and LZ Pryor, and you kind of forget that Chris Lee is a pretty vital receiver in that core as well. And he kind of gets himself open just enough so that Sully can kind of throw it down the middle and gets a nice chunky yardage in their pass midfield.
Fresh set of downs, offset eye. Logan Jack being pursued from the backfield. Doesn't matter. He's going to get about 8 yards anyway. Out to the Charleston 34-yard line. LA continuing to rumble on this second drive.
Yeah, and what LA does really good with that running offense is those stretch runs. You see a lot of great blocking, especially from the edge tackles that you see going through. They just kind of push enough so that Logan Jack can get the space and get some big chunky yards, as we saw on that 8-yarder.
Obvious run formation this time. Hand off, Jack right up the middle he goes, and a fresh set of downs for the Lycans. as they get closer and closer to the SFL red zone. Charleston struggling mightily against this run offense for LA.
And again, look at that offensive line just break everything open. Just a clear crevice of space for Logan Jack just to run across. He wasn't touched past the first down marker, and he still had a couple extra yards before a linebacker got to him. So just great job by this run blocking line.
Richardson from the gun. Quick fires it. One-on-one coverage and picked off. Going back the other way is Charleston. That's Mark Martin with the interception as he gets out to the 13-yard line, and that puts away a very promising drive for LA. I think Richardson was just a little bit too trigger happy here.
And the thing about that is that we've seen it come to success a few times before. We can even go back to last week against Vancouver where LZ Pryor had that 60-yard reception earlier before. So Charleston did a good job with the adjustment to kind of know that LZ Pryor was kind of going for the deep ball. It only comes every now and again on that passing offense for the Lycans, and they chose right here. Charleston has the football back now.
So the Predators defense balls up the LA offense into their tight-fisted defense and gives the offense back the football. Predators with a fresh set of downs on the 13. Free play here. Down towards the near sideline, caught. I think they might take the penalty anyway. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks to be 6 yards here, and I would honestly sacrifice a yard to get another first down opportunity here. So, it's up to them though.
Looks like Predators are going to take the 5-yard penalty, and that's going to be a 1st and 5. So now repeat first down from the 18 of Charleston. Kentez changing things up at the line. He's got 2 backs behind him under center. Handoff. Wow, big old hole for Swearingen right up the middle as he gets a huge chunk of yards of about 21 out to the Charleston 39.
And I'm giving absolute credit to Kentez Johnson on that, kind of maybe misdirecting the defense in making that possibly a fake audible, because I felt like the entire time it was going to go to Keith Swearingen on this 1st and 5, and there was a wide open, there might have been a small hole to kind of go through the offensive line, but no linebacker touched him for at least 10 yards. It was an amazing job from the Charleston offense.
Fresh set of downs, offset eye for Johnson to work with this time. Nothing downfield, checks it down to Swearingen. Spin move, nothing doing there as Jack Hacksaw makes the tackle. Eric Hammer going to be out the rest of the game, so that's going to be critical for that Predators defense. I believe Jack Brown was knocked out of the ball game last week, so these linebackers struggling to stay healthy.
Yeah, and it's not a good thing for Charleston here to have another linebacker down, especially against a rushing offensive team like Los Angeles. The offense definitely needs to step up here to cover it.
Swearingen still trying to churn those legs, and we'll get close to the line to gain. It's going to be a 3rd and short coming up here as we approach 60 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, and don't be surprised if it goes Swearingen's way again, whether it be a dump pass or a straight up the gut. Here, Charleston likes to run this football essentially, and you saw on their first drive they took 11 plays to get 33 yards and get into field goal range. So don't be surprised if they run here.
LA stacking the box. They're going to back out into pass. Johnson going to check it down to Swearingen, and Swearingen's going to get the first down. Great block there by big number 60, Austin Agnoski. And he sprung the running back free for the first down.
Yeah, it was basically Ognoski's job to basically just inch forward enough to get that block so that Keith Swearingen could get that first down. Just an amazing job by this offensive line.
Johnson from the gun this time. Over the middle, caught once again by Christopher Ochoa. He's been a very popular target in the passing game for the Predators as they get first down yardage to the 37.
Yeah, and Christopher Ochoa, he's definitely a second half of the season kind of player. We definitely see him get more involved in passing offenses as it goes through here as we end the first.
End of 1, Charleston on the board with 3. Los Angeles still looking to score, but the Predators are driving. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. live on YouTube. Stay with us. Your play-by-play commentator Eric Vincent alongside Brett Solberg, Ron Haynes, and Gerald Smith in the Stats Truck for this evening. As the Predators go offset I, Johnson got a quick fire it towards the near sideline, got a receiver, and that's going to be close to first down yardage near the 27, second and inches.
Yeah, and Dusty Roark did a pretty fine job and trying to get herself just to push forward for that first down marker, but it looked like the knees were just right behind as it fell through first, and you can see it right there, basically second and a whole inch.
Swearingen gets the carry, bounces it near sideline, can't get there. Great defense by the LA Lycans, and that stops him for a third and short coming up.
Yeah, and that's going to be, it looks to be Buddy Blaze, and I want to say that the defensive tackle, Gary Marks, was in there as well to try to stop Swearingen. Fantastic work. They pursued Swearingen as much as they could, but Swearingen running the opposite way, they had to quickly get to him.
LA looking for that run. Instead, they'll back out into pass. Johnson going to swing it over to Swearingen. Good move by Keith Swearingen. Gets the first down. He had a minor crevice to work with on that play, but still managed to get the first down yardage needed.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to get down about a few yards behind the line of scrimmage. Mike Scott had him essentially dead to rights, but he shed the tackle essentially, busted through for the first down.
Fresh set of downs, I formation for the Predators. Johnson, 5-step drop, going to swing it over to Swearingen. One-on-one, and he's going to get tackled around the 20-yard line. Mark him down at the 19, so we'll push him into the SFL red zone with a 2nd and 6.
And that's Swearingen's 5th straight touch as he continues to rack up touches on the football. It's number 11 now for him, just 2 minutes into the second quarter, getting a lot of involvement here, and this is a very favorable formation once again to get it to Swearingen's way.
Swearingen trying to bounce it out towards the outside. He's got room, and he's going to march into the end zone. Touchdown, Keith Swearingen.
Yeah, and he had an army of offensive linemen with him. He had Damian Robichaud as well as Agonski that we talked about earlier to kind of guide him through, and that was the key to getting Keith Swearingen that open space for a touchdown. Just a whole bevy of Charleston offensive players ready for the block, and all Swearingen needed to do was get enough separation between him and the next set of defenders to get to that right sideline to the end zone. Charleston gets their first touchdown of this game, now possibly up 10 after this extra point.
Their second scoring drive of 11 plays, this time all the way to pay dirt, going 86 yards for the score. And the kick is up and through, so Charleston taking a 10-0 lead here at home in the Holy City. The SFL has partnered with Rare Drop and Rare Drop Sports to advance live events and distribution. Live and in-person championship weekends, rookie drafts, and community events are in the works. Check out SFL games on their Twitch channel Friday through Sunday evenings, and follow Rare Drop Sports at twitch.tv/rdsports. In fact, our other game of the evening is going on right on that very Twitch page between Las Vegas and I can't tell what the other team is right now. Watching the play. Arizona. There we go. Good grief. Sorry, I got distracted by the kick return. Play-by-play commentator's curse.
And we're talking Scorpions and Fury here. That's a spicy matchup, if I can say so myself there.
Oh, yes, sir. We love the spice.
Gotta love the spice.
So now LA taking over for another possession. They were driving on their last one, cut short by an interception that Charleston took advantage of. We'll see what they can do here, coming out with an offside eye. Handoff, Logan Jack goes nowhere. Good stop there by Kevin Brackett, knocking him down right near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Kevin Brackett, former Lycan himself, and as well as a former Legion member just a few seasons ago as well, taking experience, to another team here, definitely getting a big stop there. If he didn't get that tackle, Logan Jack probably would have gotten 15 yards. Another handoff. Jack with a little bit more room this time. Decides to go inside
towards the interior of the defense and gets stopped short with about 3rd and 2 to go.
Yeah, and it looked like Logan Jack was knowing that Ricky Thornton was coming in to grab that tackle and maybe wanted to misdirect him a little bit there. But Thornton did a good job to, stay with him and get that tackle and prevent a first down from happening.
Richardson, pump fakes, penalty marker, completed pass near midfield, mark him down near the 45. But we'll have to see what the penalty marker is all about here. Pryor with the catch.
I think that might be another holding call, and this could push them back a little bit here, which is going to be big, because that was a big first down that crossed them, and that's there you see it there, offensive holding. It's going to push them back 10 yards, and now it's going to be a 3rd and 12.
And Jack, the guilty party there, probably trying to give Richardson just a skosh more time to complete it downfield. But referees were very keen on it. They caught it, and it's going to be a 3rd and long now for the Lycans. Certainly not what the doctor ordered. So they set up shop with an empty set, 5 wide. Richardson elects to go far sideline, and that's going to be well short of the line to gain. Chris Lee with the catch as we get a look at the quarterback comparison so far this evening.
Yeah, and it looked like maybe on the right side there might have been an advantageous matchup for Sully Richardson to throw to, but it looked like the one of the other outside linebacker for Charleston, Jack Brown, just kind of slid over just enough after the play transpired to cover that 3rd receiver, and did a great job to limit.
The fair catch called for and made near the 40-yard line, mark it down at the 42, and that's where Charleston will take over, already up 2 scores.
Yeah, and right now Charleston probably has to be pleased with himself here, because through the first 4 weeks in the first 3 games so far, the defense hasn't been up to snuff. And right now, 3 drives for Los Angeles that have ended in punts. That's got to be a good success for them.
6:57 to go here in the first half of play. Charleston has been on fire on offense, as they usually do. Johnson got to throw it far sideline. Good toe drag swag along that far sideline, and that's a catch for about 6 yards.
And again, it seems like Kentez Johnson is just finding the right people at the right time. You see it right on the bottom there, 10 of 12, and now 11 of 13 on his passing attempts here. A lot of them going to Keith Swearingen, but nonetheless, he's finding his targets really well so far through this first quarter and a half.
Hand off to Swearingen, trying to bounce that near sideline. Got first down yardage. Good stiff arm to boot as he's ushered out of bounds along that near sideline at the 45.
And again, it just seems very unfortunate for this LA defense, because they knew the run was coming on that first down to Keith Swearingen after a passing attack from Kentez Johnson. They just guessed the wrong direction, so it forced the defensive lineman to basically try to catch a speedy Keith Swearingen, and Swearingen just did the right thing, go to the left sideline and get that first down.
Another Swearingen carry. Flips the defender and then gets suplexed right around the 40-yard line. Good tackle by number 22 on the Lycans, Ryan Yosef. And we'll get a quick look at that defense for LA, as we have not gotten to do that yet. Brogan Spiraw, Ace Blackwell, John Nevels, and Gary Marksell on the front 4. Tazzy Blackwell, Chad Stinson, and Buddy Blaze, the linebackers. Mike Scott, Jack Hacksaw, and TD Jack, the corners. Rochelle Colston at free safety, along with a couple of Ryans, Proster and Yosef, rounding out the defensive backfield. And a good tackle there made by Nevels, limiting the damage from Swearingen, brings up 3rd and short.
It's a 3rd and short situation. Charleston loves these nickel and diming kind of plays so far in this game. It's what's gotten them to these long drives and getting 10 points out of this so far. So I don't think this is a bad situation right now for Charleston, but they're going to go shotgun here, so this might be a dump-off pass. I'm not sure.
Johnson, pump fakes. Steps up in the pocket, into coverage, and caught again. That's the second pass we've seen of that ilk this evening. This time, Saren Storm, the beneficiary of the catch. And this time, I think the defender got their hands on it.
Yeah, and we've been talking about him throughout this game. Buddy Blaze with his hands up, doing the right thing. That's what linebackers usually do in those deep coverage pass situations. Gets a hand on the football, deflects it up, but unfortunately, the deflection falls right in the hands of Saren Storm, the intended target in the first place, and another big first down here for Charleston.
Fresh set of downs, offset eye. Johnson going to swing it out to Swearingen. Got a couple defenders out there, and the first one's going to bring him down. That one being Mike Scott, but not after a gain of 6. He's been getting a good 5 or 6 yards every screen pass that he throws out there.
Yeah, and if it's working for them, they're going to continue going that way. They're going to go with those swing passes. Keith Swearingen's going to get a bunch of touches. He seems to have just unlimited energy. Keith Swearingen does, so it doesn't matter if he gets 1 touch or 100 touches in a game. He gets his worth.
3 wide, 2nd and 4 in the SFL red zone, marked at the 17-yard line, and we're going to back it up to the 19, courtesy of that LA defense. Once again, Buddy Blaze all over the football field this evening.
Yeah, you said it right there. All over the field is Buddy Blaze, and he's trying to make a mark here, knowing that the run game basically goes through Keith Swearingen, and the Charleston offense relies on him a lot, so they're going to keep tackling him as quickly as possible.
So now a 3rd and 6. Johnson, good time. Pocket collapsing. He goes down. LA gets the sack after a long time of chugging away and hacking away at those offensive linemen. Brogan Spiraw gets the sack.
Yeah, and that gives a lot of credit to the secondary for LA, knowing that, in these kind of situations here, they might want to pass it to get to that first down. They're in the 3rd and 9 situation, so they're going to have to force a pass out of Kentez Johnson, and they just kept with their men and prevented any pass from happening, leading to the sack.
Definitely a coverage sack there, and a huge stop by LA to keep this close, as Brechet is going to knock one through from 39 yards to make it a 13-0 ball game. Esports TV has partnered with the SFL to bring sim football to millions of homes over the next 2 years. ESTV is the world's first 24/7 live, linear, and video-on-demand esports channel, available everywhere through your smart TV, on your phone, through Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and more. Visit estv.co to learn more about its programming and to find all the ways you can catch the SFL action on the network. Well, from an offensive standpoint, Charleston has been looking very, very good with over 150 yards here in the first half of play. But LA's defense has done a little bit of a better job containing Swearingen. We'll have to see how they respond on offense with 3:31 to go here in the first half. Carroll's going to make it out to the 26-yard line, and that's where LA will take over once again. Logan Jack looking good, about 4.5 yards a clip on the run game there. And Sully Richardson has only had 1 incompletion, that being an interception on their lone good drive of the evening.
Yeah, and it just seems like any time that they start to get going there, the drive stalls, whether it be a 3-and-out or an interception. They've only had 16 plays through nearly 2 quarters. They only have half as many as Charleston plays.
Richardson, he wants it all. Intercepted again. This time near the 40-yard line, and this time by Ricky Thornton, the free safety coming over from Tulsa.
And we've seen this through a lot of different teams' defenses over the last, 2 or 3 weeks. That, middle of the field, we talk about that middle space between the linebackers and the safeties that are becoming a little bit more open. The defensive coordinators for a lot of teams, especially for Charleston in this game, they've closed up that gap so that a lot of these receivers getting those post routes down the middle of the field, they can't get those open catches, and it's resulting in safeties getting a bunch of interceptions, Ricky Thornton being the party there for the interception.
To Swearingen right away, and he gets buried in the backfield. Good wrap-up tackle by Jack Hacksaw coming in on a corner run. And Ricky Thornton, that's his 3rd interception on the season. And this Charleston defense has been doing all the favors for its offense. Meanwhile, LA's offense has been doing their defense no favors. Swing pass to Swearingen. All sorts of white jerseys out there, and he's going to get maybe 4 or 5 on the play. That'll make it a 3rd and 7.
Yeah, about 1 second later, and Kentez Johnson probably would have been sacked on that play, so it basically only went to his only option as a bunch of blockers. The receivers were blocking as well to give Swearingen as much open space as possible, and he gets a decent 5 yards out of it.
So, stepping up, here's he's thrown, and he'll find his fullback Sutherland coming towards the near sideline, but a bit too far out of bounds. It's going to be 4th down, and we're going to see a punt from Charleston.
Yeah, and again, the Los Angeles secondary doing a great job limiting options, and Kentez Johnson being forced to throw to a flat route to his fullback, who is already very, very close to the sidelines, and basically get minimal gain out of it. And this time, instead of allowing another field goal here, Los Angeles could get the football back and try to start getting any momentum.
We'll see if Charleston can pin back LA deep, getting close to the goal line, and it's going to be into the end zone for a touchback. So LA will start things off at the 20 with about 2:12 to go. Got the 2-minute warning, got all 3 timeouts. Plenty of opportunity to get some points on the board. Even a field goal here would help, Brett.
Yeah, but Sully Richardson has to wake up here, and Logan Jack has been doing his part with as little touches as he can here. They're going to go empty set 3 at the top here.
4 wide, tight end in the formation. Richardson will check it down on a crossing route, and that's going to be a short gain of 4, and probably the last play before the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, and it seems like Charleston is ready for those deep passes. So again, another check down on this.
2 minutes to go here in Charleston for the first half of play. Hometown Predators up by 13 over the visiting LA Lycans. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. We are live on YouTube. Eric Vincent alongside Brett Solberg, Ron Haynes, and Gerald Smith in the stat truck for us this evening. 2nd and 6 to start after the 2-minute warning. Logan Jack, plenty of room, and didn't quite have the afterburner speed that we're used to seeing from him. Still gets the first down out to the LA 35.
Yeah, and those are the kind of runs that we saw against Vancouver last week. Logan Jack just tore Vancouver open and got himself to 170 plus yards in that game. And right now, LA is going to need a lot more of that and then some from Logan Jack, as this offense has been very, very stagnant through this first half, hasn't gotten near anywhere, and it might be Logan Jack having to carry the load once again.
Charleston stacking the box. Jack will get the carry this time near side.
There it is.
He's got blockers. He's got one man to beat. 30, 25, and gets marked down at the 22-yard line. Finally brought down by Jacob Clear, but not before a huge rumble by Logan Jack.
How about that? Just, 2 plays and giving enough space for Logan Jack, and he's going to get you 58 yards. How about that? That's all you need, and it seems like Logan Jack is ready to go.
Richardson going to swing it out to Jack. He's not tired. He's ready to go, and he's getting close to the first down marker, 7 yards, as the clock continues to roll underneath a minute to go.
Now it's time to preserve the football. You're inside the red zone here.
Richardson again, this time near sideline. Falling catch, sliding catch made by the tight end, Jack Flash, and that'll be a 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. Freeze the clock at 44 seconds.
Great hurry-up play there from Los Angeles to get a sideline catch here and to stop the clock, getting that tight end to kind of go on a crossing out route, get himself to the sideline so that they can stop the clock here and set up a new formation.
And that new formation will be the I formation. Charleston showing blitz, backing out. Richardson going to sling it out to the fullback, Rahman, and Rahman will get escorted out of bounds right near the 10-yard line. Good news is it freezes the clock at 39 seconds this time.
Yeah, so they can change up the formation once again here. Get some guessing a little bit more. And this is Los Angeles' time to get back in this game. They've got 3 plays now to get to the end zone. I would use all 3. Use that 4th and goal opportunity to score 7. I think this is very much, if you get a touchdown before the end of the half, you're coming in with a lot of momentum.
4-3 look for Charleston. Richardson slinging it out to Rahman, this time far sideline, and he'll get dragged down near the 5-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and goal, and LA will use their first timeout with 34 seconds to go.
Again, just kind of inching forward here and, setting up a good position now. 4 yards, and they have, at least one play left to go here. And this might be prime opportunity to kind of just split that offensive line open just enough for Logan Jack to get to the end zone. That would be my guess.
Just in remaining patient as well, trying not to force anything this close to the goal line. They need a touchdown. Richardson gonna air it up back in the end zone. Touchdown. What a pass there to LZ Pryor to get them on the board.
And that is just a pinpoint pass from Kentez Johnson, just throwing an absolute rainbow and getting it over the head of the linebacking core. And just before the safety Pryor, you can see Ricky Thornton at the end of that highlight there, just getting a little bit too late. And finally, LA strikes here, and now they'll have the momentum carrying over into the third quarter.
Extra point by Sid O'Lindy is up and through. That is desperately what LA needed to get themselves back in this ball game, especially with Charleston getting the second half kickoff. 31 seconds to go here. I don't imagine that Charleston will have a ton of opportunity to really work this football.
Yeah, I would expect they would just try to maybe end the half here and, give Keith Swearingen maybe 1 or 2 more touches so they can go to the locker room, maybe change things up both offensively and defensively so they can kind of explode a little bit more for the lead.
8 plays, 80 yards for LA, working the football down the field and hitting pay dirt for the first time this evening. Charleston with 27 seconds to go. All 3 timeouts. But again, not a whole lot of opportunity for them to go ahead and work that football down the field, especially with the way their offense likes to run. So I agree with you, Brett. I think they might just regroup into the locker room and see what they can do with the opening kickoff of the second half. They come out in I formation. Offset I. Johnson going to swing it out to Swearingen. He's got one man to beat out there. He beats him, and he's on the far sideline there. He's got plenty of space. He gets tackled in bounds, though, and Charleston not electing to use a timeout.
Very interesting call here. I think they should have used a timeout so they don't have to stay in this formation, because you know what's going to happen here. It's going to be another swing pass.
And there it is right there. One-handed grab by Swearingen. He gets tackled in bounds again, and Charleston forced to call a timeout. They're going to go to the Hail Mary formation now. A bit of a mistake on clock management, I think, Brett.
Yeah, I think they should have taken that one timeout, changed formations. They would have had probably, a good 15 seconds left on the clock so they can run maybe 1 or 2 plays, maybe go with, an unsuspecting deep pass if they want to score some points out of this. But nonetheless, here we are, 3 seconds to go. They could go Hail Gary for all we know. They could just, run it up the gut to kind of let time expire. Let's see how this formation pans out. Yeah, it's going to be Hail Gary.
Kentez does have the arm to get it to the end zone. We'll see if he has the time in the pocket.
Nope.
Right away, he's going to go down immediately, but Charleston, with the savvy to call a timeout, that backs him up to the Charleston 44-yard line, still, I think, within Hail Mary range. But, man, that blitz, it was a free runner, and he had no chance.
Yeah, and that was Jack Hacksaw coming in, just, exploding off the line, essentially. Nobody went to block him on that offensive front. Just 2 seconds, that play happened, and then Kentez is down. But like you said, it's still in a prime formation for Kentez to throw the football. It's 55 yards. It's still doable. They're going to go back in the same formation, and this time this offensive line better get some better protection for Kentez so they can get down the field.
And again, a blitz, and again, Kentez going down. Rochelle Colston this time coming on the safety blitz, and Kentez once again had 0 shot at getting rid of that football.
And again, instantly, it was just a secondary member coming in, and that's just due to the poor blocking. You can see number 40 there, just no wherewithal, knowing that you need to block as many people as you can, and Rochelle Colston gets a sack.
So Kentez will get some smelling salts going into the locker room, but his team is still up 13-7 over the LA Lycans. Very impressive first half from both of these teams, as Charleston will get the second half kickoff, as we discussed. Eric Vincent alongside Brett Solberg, Ron Haynes, and Gerald Smith in the stats truck for us this evening. Spicy matchup between these two teams. Charleston with a 6-point advantage, looking to add to that right out the gates here in the second half. Storm with the return out to the 27-yard line. Congrats to Rochelle Colston on her first career sack in the at the end of the first half there. And do you think we'll see more of Keith Swearingen here in the second half of play, Brett?
Now that Los Angeles scored before the end of the first half, I do think it would be privy for Charleston, maybe mix things up a little bit more. You've got Chris Ochoa, you've got Saren Storm, you've got a great bunch of receivers.
Instead, we're going to see a screen right out the gate. Swearingen slips the first defender and the second, but gets tattooed along that far sideline after a gain of about 6 or 7. We've seen that screenplay produce 6 or 7 yard gains pretty much all night long.
Yeah, and that's been the success so far for Charleston, is that they're really eating up the clock with those 6-7 yard plays. And Keith Swearingen's just doing his thing. There you see it, 10th reception already. Some games I'm lucky to get 2 receptions, and he's already got 10 here through a quarter and a minute.
Johnson, this time got to go middle of the field, wide open, man, beat the defender. And it was just good positioning there by the receiver to get the first down yardage.
Yeah, and that's what Charleston needs to do here. They now need to mix things up, and you see it wide open on that corner route, and the post route, I should say. Corner's going the other way, but it just seemed like Mike Scott got just beat just enough so that Davius Reed could get himself open for that deep catch.
Davius Reed, the 10-season vet, his first in a Charleston uniform, the former LA Lycan, doing some damage against his former team, and Johnson trying to get it over the middle of the field to him again, but this time the LA defense clamped shut on him.
Almost a mirror image route for Reed as well, basically just a post down the middle, and this time 2 defenders around the LA area, knowing that Reed is that deep threat for Charleston, whereas you see, Ochoa and Saren Storm kind of be, all over the place. We know that one thing Davies Reed is good at is the deep catches. So great job by the secondary to kind of shore him up.
Run formation here. Instead, it's going to be a screen pass to Swearingen. And again, LA ready for it. This time, marking him down behind the line of scrimmage. It's been feast or famine for the LA defense. This time, Tazzy Blackwell able to knock him down behind the line, as I mentioned.
Yeah, you don't see that all too often, but what Keith Swearingen is getting is either big yards or no yards at all. So great job from LA to kind of, spice things up with the defense.
4 wide for Johnson. He wants to go towards the bottom of the formation and incomplete. It was one-on-one coverage there. That was definitely the opportunity that Johnson wanted with Ochoa. Just couldn't quite get it to him.
Yeah, it was great job from Jack Hacksaw to stay one-on-one with basically an in and out going for Christopher Ochoa, knowing that, if he just gets agile enough, he stays with it. But Hacksaw, you can see right there, basically knew where Ochoa was going to go and just, dives to just get a deflection to prevent Ochoa from getting his hands on the football.
Beautifully done by the 5-season vet, Jack Hacksaw, and that forces a 4th down and a punt from Charleston. Very important for LA to get some momentum here in the second half. Pressure was coming, didn't get there in time. Waiting at about the 10-yard line is Carroll, and he's going to make it out to about the 16, and that's where LA will take over to start off the second half. The SFL has partnered with Laser to deliver digital SFL player trading cards to its players and viewers during live events on SFL Twitch. Viewers every 30 minutes will be issued cards, or you can buy SFL card packs through Laser Store. The new Season 19 pack will be available soon. Visit laser.gg, that's LAYZR.gg, and click the Join Alpha button to connect your Twitch account and begin collecting. As LA gets they'll lose about a half a yard on that play. Good defense by the Predators front 4.
I hope he did the air quotes when he said laser.
Laser.
Charleston, for the first time in a while, have punted this football out to Los Angeles. This is going to be a big momentum shift if the Lycans can get any type of scoring out of this. And the first play, not a good one, -1.
Charleston stacking the box again, looking for a run. They're going to get it. Logan Jack right up the middle of the field, and he's going to get about 4 yards on that play. He's been very productive when he's gotten the ball. A very long run of 43 yards. Otherwise, not a whole bunch of game-breaking plays. but still a good stat line for Logan Jack.
Yeah, what Charleston has done very well throughout this game is just limit LA's opportunities. There's been a bunch of 3-and-outs that we saw just through the first quarter, and it took until near the end of the half to get points.
LA gonna get a fresh set of downs off the hands of Chris Lee as he makes the catch wide open along the near sideline, moving the chains out to the 28.
Yeah, and Los Angeles, what they need to do here is just continue to get those first downs and move that field however they can. Now getting the passing game more involved here, which I think they should do. They can't trust on Logan Jack all game here, and they definitely need to get their wide receivers involved. They've got a great set of receivers. Get them the football more often.
We'll see what they do here from the gun. 3 wideouts towards the bottom of the screen. Richardson, pressure's coming in. He's going to go down. Right up the middle of the field was the Predators' defense, and he had no shot as Moore Rivers just kept the pressure coming in his face, and down he goes.
Now, the man of a million nicknames. I used to know him during his rookie campaign as Cheeseburger Rivers. I can't remember his current nickname now, but all I remember is him, getting cheeseburgers, and, sacking is what he does great. And he gets to Sully Richardson, and push them back here 8 yards.
Might as well call him Gimme More Rivers, because that's what he's going to want as Logan Jack gets buried in the backfield, and guess who? It's Gimme More Rivers.
Yeah, and he's been a big part of this set of downs here, getting the sack and now pushing Logan Jack back an extra yard, setting up this third and probably the distance between Vancouver and Toronto here.
Third and a country mile for LA. Richardson airing it out.
Wow.
What a man. First down yardage over the middle of the field. Great post route run by LZ Pryor, getting the needed yardage and then some.
And Pryor has been a threat all throughout this season so far with these deep attacking routes, and this time just splits the two safeties, essentially. The safeties were playing a little bit wider than they usually do, and that forced an opening in the middle, and just a perfect run route for LZ Pryor gets a great first down and a huge chunk of yardage.
Richardson going to swing it out to Jack. One-handed grab. Good
there
spin towards the defender. Stutter step still on his feet. First down yardage out across to the 43-yard line. Move those sticks.
Yeah, and again, just quickly moving the sticks here. This is what Los Angeles' offense needed to do, especially in the first quarter. Just, come alive here, spread that offense around, get Logan Jack involved, get LZ Pryor involved. We should see a little bit more of Chris Lee and Shea Carroll, maybe, hashtag throw it to the tight end to Jack Flash. This is the offense that you need to do. You need to spread the wealth, essentially, to get forward and get those points.
That's what it looked like. LA's drive was dead in the water. A huge play to Pryor over the middle. Keeps the drive alive, and Logan Jack is doing his best to keep his team alive. This time getting buried in the dirt by big number 42, Jack Brown.
Yeah, and Jack Brown is, I would say, the heart and soul of this Charleston Predators team. He's probably one of the biggest voices out there. You see him all the time, chatting up with anybody that he can. Just, he's one of the great leaders in this league.
Jack, good blocking up front. He bounces it near sideline, and he's got it out to about the 30. Mark him down at the 31. And averaging over 7 yards a carry here. Still hasn't hit pay dirt yet, but man, what a good stat line for the Lycans running back.
Yeah, and they need to continue to just give him enough blocking to find those gaps and get through and get those first downs. Logan Jack is really cooking just on this drive alone here, helping Los Angeles. I would say even on that last drive as well, with, getting, essentially 65 yards of running on that last drive, and he continues to cook here in this drive.
He's going to get another carry, but Charleston was ready for it this time around, burying him back at the 35. Big number 67 getting in there and making the stop. Tommy Radonikis. So I can't help but laugh at some of these names. I mean, it's just an amazing name.
I got no comment about that.
4-yard loss, 2nd and 14. Jack gets the carry once again. And again, Charleston with suffocating defense forces him to lose another yard. Kevin Brackett on the stop this time around.
And again, like you said, Charleston is just swarming the LA offensive line and trying to essentially force each lineman to have 2 people to block, and that's almost impossible for every lineman to get there. And you see, you saw Radonicus, and I believe Stephen Bonnell II was in on that as well in this play.
3 wide on 3rd and long. Richardson goes down. The Charleston defense, that was the most impressive set of about 3 downs that I've seen by any defense, I think, this season, as Jack Brown comes in on the blitz and clamps it shut.
And Charleston will probably admit that's probably the best 3 downs that they've ever had defensively this season, as well as, they've been known to struggle. It's especially, in games where they have allowed 30-plus points. But right now, they've done a fantastic job in this game limiting Los Angeles' offense.
4-yard loss, 1-yard loss, and a 6-yard loss on consecutive plays. And then LA returns the favor by pinning them back inside the 10.
Yeah, now LA has a tough task here inside the 10. They've got 92 yards to try to at least tie this game up. That's a tough task. And, there's still a little bit of breathing room, so they could still go Keith Swearingen's way here, but it's gonna be tough to get 92 yards to the end zone. So LA's got to step up defensively.
It's a good opportunity for the LA defense. There's it right there, and could have had reservations for 6. Ryan Proster just a little bit out of position there, couldn't quite nab the football.
Yeah, and you can tell that he was just the second man to try to help out. It looked to be Jack Hacksaw on that Christopher Ochoa out route, and was kind of that saving grace because Hacksaw was beat essentially on the out route, and Proster, I should say, did a good job just to get the hand out to deflect the football.
Brings up a 2nd down. Johnson again gonna throw. Pocket is collapsing. He steps up, still in trouble, gonna get sacked from behind. A short loss on the play, but a sack nonetheless, as John Nevels gets in there to make the sack.
Now we've seen it a few times here with this LA secondary, just basically do fantastic one-on-one coverage on the receivers and forcing Kentez to kind of move around in and out of the pocket to try to find an open man, but to no avail. Again, gets sacked.
And off to Swearingen, and he's not going to get enough for a 1st down. Just gives the punter a little bit more breathing room as he makes it out to maybe the 10-yard line. It's been a very impressive defensive game from both of these teams. And we're seeing it on the scoreboard. We're seeing it on the field. It's just been very, very great from both of these teams so far.
They say sometimes landlords can be tight-fisted with their money in terms of rent. Well, both of these defenses have been very tight-fisted in terms of allowing, 1st downs and yardages here. So great job defensively from both these teams.
And LA going to be the beneficiary of their tight-fisted defense, as they will get great starting field position off of the short return out to the Charleston 39-yard line. This is a prime opportunity for them to take the lead here.
Yeah, and now this is LA's opportunity. They got their defensive stop. They're in prime field position. They only have 39 yards to get to the end zone, and this is a prime opportunity to either tie or take the lead. Richardson
Gonna air it out right away. He's got it again. His tight end, Jack Flash, getting near the 10-yard line. They'll mark him down right at the 10. 1st and goal for the Lycans.
And that is the notorious tight end go route that we've seen in this league throughout the seasons. And Jack Flash is probably one of the best to just get forward there. The biggest thing with tight ends is the first 3 steps when they run a route. If they can maintain that speed on the first 3 steps, they're going to get themselves open and beat a linebacker, and that's what happened there.
Jack, oh man, I think if he bounced it outside, he might have had enough space there to get into the end zone, but he decided to keep it inside, and Charleston was able to track him down.
And I agree with you there, because there was a bunch of open space on that outside sideline, and the wide receivers on that right side did a fantastic job of blocking the secondary members and trying to give Logan Jack that space, but this time he cuts inside and only gets a few yards out of it.
Richardson takes the high snap. Gonna gun it over the middle. Dangerous pass. Incomplete. It was tight coverage from the Predators as he was looking for Cameron Longshot, one of the extra receivers in the formation. Brings up 3rd and goal.
Yeah, I don't think that Sully Richardson should really be throwing all those check down passes, because that's prime real estate, especially when you're so close to the end zone for the linebackers to deflect footballs and even get chance interceptions here. They got to look end zone on this pass.
Richardson, end zone, touchdown, Lycans.
There it is right there. Shea Carroll hasn't been involved all too much in this LA offense, and you can see that's kind of a duck of a throw from Sully Richardson. We don't see that all too often from here, as the ball basically flips out of his hand, but it still finds his target in Shea Carroll, and finally another touchdown here for LA. It just seems like when they get again, we've said it in this game, they get momentum started, things stall a little bit, and now they finally have tied this game here.
O'Lindy looking to put them on top. And for the first time tonight, LA with the lead, a 1-point advantage, 14-13 over the Charleston Predators. Visit the SFL website at simulationfl.net for info about the league and its 28 teams, all the places you can watch live games, plus links to apparel from Sector 6 and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions. See all the league records, team stats, player leaderboards, the rankings of the next class of SFL talent, and so much more. Simulationfl.net, your home for everything SFL. Storm with the return. He's going to bring it out past the 20, mark him down at the 24-yard line. And Charleston will take over, now being down by a point for the first time here this evening, with about 76 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and they've kind of been given their own medicine after, stifling LA in this first quarter. They've been pretty much stifled this third quarter here by this LA defense, so they need to wake up themselves here.
Single back is Swearingen. Under center is Johnson. Swearingen with the carry, slips the first defender. He's into the open field and will get just past 10 yards. Mark him down at the 36-yard line. Gain of about 11 or 12 on the play.
Yeah, and they're probably going to rely a lot on Keith Swearingen on this drive here to get them get their lead back, essentially. They're really looking for any kind of points. Sheds the first tackle here, but can get past Buddy Blaze. Still a decent, 12, 13-yard gain, and pushes the sticks forward.
Meanwhile, over on Rare Drop Sports, things getting out of hand over in Sin City as the Fury have a 41-13 advantage over the Arizona Scorpions. See, I got him that time. Hand off to Sutherland, the fullback, who goes absolutely nowhere as the Lycans defense was ready for that play. A loss of a yard, 2nd and long.
Just quickly going to that Arizona game, Eddie Gage probably ripping what hair is left on his head right now after that defensive performance from them, allowing 41 points. You don't see that all too often. But Charleston getting stopped here with Terrell Sutherland losing a yard there.
Offset eye. Johnson electing to throw to a receiver this time, and that's Ochoa along the far sideline. He's had 5 catches this evening, and that brings it up to a third manageable.
Yeah, on that passing offense is, really relying on basically just 2 guys, Keith Swearingen and Christopher Ochoa, on those off chances. This time gets the 5 yards necessary to kind of move forward and open this playbook here for third down.
Maybe one more play before the end of the third. Johnson gets it off. He's going to throw towards the bottom of the screen here, bottom of the formation, and that's Storm with the catch for first down yardage out to the LA 47-yard line. And we have hit the end of the third quarter of play. LA with a 1-point advantage on the road against Charleston. Get your 4s up, get your 86s up, and get your 12s up in the chat. This is Simulation Football League presented by APM Music, live on YouTube. Eric Vincent alongside Brett Solberg, Ron Haynes, and Gerald Smith in the stats truck for us this evening. 1-point advantage for the Lycans on the road here in Charleston against the Predators. Charleston driving with a fresh set of downs. Johnston Checking it down to Swearingen, and Keith will get about 3 yards, bringing up a second down.
Yeah, that was kind of be expected there. LA really sagging off their corners there, expecting Charleston to throw deep and forcing Kentez to go to his check down option to Swearingen, and that results in that 3-yard play.
Offset eye. 7 in the box for LA. Johnson stepping up, hit as he's thrown, and it's incomplete. Falls to the turf eventually, brings up a 3rd and 7. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. 3rd and 7 from the LA 44. Johnson from the gun. Quick fires it over the middle into coverage and incomplete. Tazzy Blackwell once again. Blackwell and Buddy Blaze have both been all over the field here this evening, and they've done a great job.
Seems to be a story of linebackers between these two teams here, as Jack Brown and Kevin Brackett on the Charleston side have kind of led the tackling list here, whereas, as you said, Buddy Blaze and Tazzy Blackwell kind of led things for Los Angeles' end, and it's another key stop for LA here. They've really eliminated any chance for Charleston to get downfield through the second half.
So now Charleston will try and return the favor to LA and pin them back deep. Ball bouncing around the 10, and it trickles into the end zone. A little bit too patient there was Charleston, and that will result in a touchback for LA.
Could have just batted the ball, the other way, maybe a little bit there, and they decided to, stay patient, hope the ball would fall basically at the goal line, and it just trickles over, and now LA starts at the 20-yard line. A lot of breathing room behind them now.
They'll start things off with an offset eye. Jack with the carry. A lot of pressure in front of him, and he'll get maybe back to the line of scrimmage. We've seen his average per carry dip a little bit, as he was averaging over 7 yards a carry, still averaging over 5 yards a carry, though.
Yeah, and it was essentially just a sea of black and red from Logan Jack, and it almost seemed inevitable that he was going to get tackled, and he was pretty much lucky enough to get to the line of scrimmage.
Richardson gonna throw, and he was the intended target, was Jack Flash, but it didn't look like he was ready for the football, and that falls to the turf, bringing up 3rd down.
But to be a crossing route between the tight end and the wide receiver, I believe it was LZ Pryor on the other side going with a slant to the inside, and they kind of just got crossed a little bit here, which might have resulted in Flash just not being able to be ready for that catch, and now here we are at 3rd and 10.
So a little sputter here for LA in the second half. We'll see if they can recover on this 3rd and long. 5 wide. Richardson finds a receiver towards the top of the formation and not going to get the first down needed. Very, very close was Chris Lee, but it's going to be a couple yards short.
Yeah, it was a picture-perfect out-route play because Sully Richardson just threw it pretty much quickly enough right after the cut was made to the outside, and Chris Lee had opportunity to try to get that first down and try to run forward to it, but a great job from Charleston's 2 defenders there to basically close that gap and prevent Lee from getting that first down.
So just when it was looking like LA might seize even further momentum here in the second half, Charleston shuts the door on them and gets a fair catch at the 40-yard line. We'll see if they can take the lead with 8:48 to go here in the ballgame.
Yeah, and it's going to be, again, another big drive here for Charleston. They definitely need to, wake things up within them. Maybe not rely a lot on Keith Swearingen, which they've done a lot through this game, about 25 touches throughout, and they really need to get their receivers and maybe get Dusty Rourke involved too.
Swearingen will get the carry, and he pays for it in a big way, as the Lycans defense was ready for that play. Mike Scott finally able to clean up the play at only a gain of a half a yard.
Yeah, and that's what LA is kind of anticipating here throughout the second half. There's going to be more touches with Keith Swearingen, and I think Charleston, needs to get out of it a little bit here as they go trips to the right here.
Johnson, 7-step drop, and he's in trouble. He's going to go down, but the ball gets out before he's able to hit the turf. The LA defense was very impressive, getting in his face right away. Ace Blackwell with the pressure.
And we haven't talked about the other Blackwell on the defensive side of Ace Blackwell. It's kind of been locked down by the offensive line. This time finally gets the separation and gets to Kentez just after he throws the football. Doesn't get the sack, unfortunately.
So now a 3rd and 9 for Charleston. Johnson, good pocket, has time, finds a receiver, first down yardage to Saren Storm as he moves the sticks out to midfield.
Man, that's got to be some intestinal fortitude from Kentez Johnson, because he had Brogan Spira and Ace Blackwell once again pursuing him, closing that pocket to deny anything at all, and just moves just a little bit forward to give himself an extra second to get a wide receiver open, finds the catch, and an easy first down.
Johnson, wide open man coming towards the near sideline, caught for a 5-yard gain. And that's one of the extra receivers, Nate Fife, in the formation there. Excuse me, Nat Fife.
I think he's one of the only SFL members that have all caps for his first name.
I like that, though.
Yeah. Got to scream it next time.
Swearingen, very patient run, and he's up to races. Dragged down near the 20 at the 21-yard line, as it looked like it was Tazzy Blackwell that finally tracked him down, but that was a very patient run there, Brett.
Yeah, and you don't see that all too often from Keith Swearingen. This was very much a Phoenix Jones-esque kind of run, and Phoenix Jones is very notorious, for finding his open lanes before he starts turning those engines. And this time, Swearingen goes with the stretch, see how the defense, kind of plays it, finds the open lane, and gets himself a chunk of yardage.
29 yards on the play. Johnson again finding an open man and again getting first down yardage into the SFL red zone. We go 1st and goal from the 9.
Yeah, and the big thing with those out routes, and I've been talking about this since I started broadcasting, is that if you want that out route to get more yards than its original intention, you've got to throw that essentially once the cut is happening and he starts throwing it outside. Make him land in a spot that's about 2 to 3 yards to that sideline so they can run forward, and that's what happened there.
Swearingen again with a carry, again trying to be patient, gets to the far sideline and gets about 3 yards for his efforts as the clock ticks closer to 6 minutes to go in regulation.
Yeah, that looked to be one man against 7 defenders, and Swearingen patiently again looking for an open hole. Doesn't get too much though. It gets a few yards at least, and now Charleston again inside the 10. Maybe it's time to look end zone with their pass here.
High formation. Johnson wants Swearingen. He's got space. He does, but LA clamps it shut right away. It looked like he might have had the opportunity to get himself into the end zone, but there were a ton of white jerseys that had great pursuit on defense.
Yeah, and it was great play recognition from the safeties, especially from LA, seeing that the swing pass was going to happen. It seemed like that's their only play on that I formation playbook, is that swing pass. And 3 defenders all of a sudden came. I thought he got the easy end zone, but not this time.
Johnson in trouble, somehow avoids the sack. He's on his feet, and the ball hits the turf. That was an all-out zero blitz that LA just sent at Kentez Johnson, and somehow he didn't get destroyed right away.
Yeah, it's amazing that Kentez, dodged a few sack attempts there, still managed to stay on his feet and at least get the ball away from his hands, even if it was going to be deflected no matter what. He knew that he had to get the football out of his hands. And once again, Brad Bretchett is going to be on his 3rd attempt, which is more than he's seen through the first 3 games of Charleston.
This one for the lead. The snap gets down easily, and the kick is through as Charleston retakes the lead. A 2-point advantage, 16-14, over the visiting LA Lycans. The SFL produces over 400 live events each year, but don't miss community content creators and their creations. Catch SFL Nights with AJ Stryker, Say It With Your Chest, Around the SFL, and more, covering Season 19 and beyond. To check out archived versions of community shows, visit simulationfl.net and click the logo of your favorite form of SFL entertainment on our homepage. Decent return for the Lycans as they'll bring it out to the 25-yard line. It's been all defense, just back and forth, back and forth. Just when we think one team is seizing momentum, the other team's defense just says, nah, we still got this. We're in this.
Yeah, and it just seems like any momentum that any team starts to get, both defensive lines have come up and said, not in my house, and just denies any attempt to get forward progression.
And there's Gimme More Rivers. He wants some more as he gets a tackle for loss back there in the backfield. Look at that stat line. 1 sack, 4 tackles. Was that 3 for loss?
Yeah, it looked to be
right.
there. Yeah, it looked to be there. And Logan Jack after this game might be calling him Crimea Rivers because he's been on the ground more times than he wants to because of more Rivers.
4 wide for the Lycans this time. Richardson, short drop, penalty marker.
Another hold.
First down, but yeah, that's more than likely going to be a hold as we'll have to take a look at the penalty marker from OR 62.
And it happened again to LZ Pryor on another first down catch. We saw in the second quarter, we saw LZ Pryor get a nice 16-yard catch negated because of an offensive hold. This time, another 12-yard catch negated because of a hold. So it's very unfortunate. The offensive line needs to be disciplined here in this fourth quarter.
So that'll back up LA. Second and 21 from the 14. 4 wide once again. Richardson over the middle, couldn't quite make the grab. Was a long shot, and that's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, it's just it kind of probably shook the momentum away from Los Angeles. They got their first down negated because of a hold, and going with a short pass, and it almost looked like it immediately shook Sully Richardson here. Now at a 3rd down, and we don't even see the first down marker on the screen right now.
Trips towards the near sideline. Richardson in the gun. Sully's going to fire it into coverage and incomplete. A little bit of a tip drill there from the defensive backfield of Charleston. Could have came away with the pick, and instead it's going to be a punt for LA.
And Ricky Thornton has been all over the place on that deep routes, and there hasn't been much of an opportunity for Los Angeles to get these deep catches because of mainly Thornton and Stamango on the safety side. It's just a fantastic defensive bout that we have here.
So Charleston will have good starting field position on the other side of this punt. They'll be in opponent territory at the 45-yard line of LA with 4 minutes, 9 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter of action. I mean, what do you think here, Brett? Do you think a touchdown really closes the door for LA?
With how the defensive lines have been playing, a touchdown might close this door for LA here. So Charleston needs to take advantage of a great defensive stop from the Charleston defense in great field position to close this door for them and get to 2-2.
Might see a heavy dose of Swearingen to chew some clock. He'll get a carry to start things off and a good chunk of 6 yards to boot as the clock continues to run.
Yeah, they're going to continue going Keith Swearingen's way, and I wouldn't be surprised at the end of this game he's going to have 40 touches between receptions and attempts here as they try to chew some clock down and get to this end zone here.
Both of these backs on either team, top 10 backs as far as rushing yards are concerned, and both of them very close to the century mark. Swearingen over the century mark as he gets another carry. Still manages to keep his footing as he gets very, very close to that line to gain. It's going to be a 3rd and short.
Yeah, we talked about these two running backs here, probably the two toughest running backs to get to the ground. And while both defenses have done great against both these running backs, you can still see a combined 200 yards rushing between these two running backs. So they've still gotten their money's worth here with the running game.
LA with 8 in the box. Gary Swearingen, first down yardage. Move the sticks out to the LA 30-yard line and keep that clock moving.
Yeah, and more importantly, that pushes them into field goal range as well. So if they can't get a touchdown out of this, at least they can get a field goal and push this lead to 5 and force LA to score a touchdown to win the game. So Charleston's doing a great job. Heavy dose of Swearingen getting those first downs.
I formation. First down, Swearingen, and he'll get stopped in the backfield. And again, Tazzy Blackwell with another stop. She's been very, very important to this LA defense here this evening.
Yeah, and those linebackers will have to be important on this set of downs here. It's going to be, again, healthy dose of Keith Swearingen. So Blackwell and especially Buddy Blaze, we've seen throughout this game, definitely needs to be ready for more. And this might be a swing pass option.
We're not going to see that play before the 2-minute warning. 16-14, Charleston on top of LA here at home. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. We are live on YouTube. Eric Vincent alongside Brett Solberg, Ron Haynes, and Gerald Smith in the stats truck for us this evening. They've done a great job making us sound smarter than we really are. We appreciate you, gentlemen. Second down for Charleston. Another carry for Swearingen, and he'll get close to the 30-yard line, actually marking down at the 29. LA will call their first timeout. Coverage of the SFL on Next Level Sports continues tomorrow with a doubleheader starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time in our nation's capital, where the 3-1 DC Dragons will welcome the 3-1 Vancouver Legion in a rematch of a thrilling 55-52 shootout that kicked off Season 18. In the second block, Seattle gets its first national television game as heavy underdogs on the road in Baltimore. Live look-ins will feature London Sioux Falls and Queen City, Indianapolis. For a channel guide and more info about NXT, visit NLSC.com for more information as Charleston continuing to move the sticks. Davius Reed with a clutch catch along the near sideline there, and that will move the sticks once again for Charleston.
You'll see here a clutch throw from Kentez Johnson as well, just over the outreaching arms of the secondary member there. Just an absolute pinpoint pass. It looked like Mike Scott was going to get that interception, maybe just a little bit too far ahead of his man, and that's what results in that first down. And again, inside the 20, threatening to score again. This could be nail in the coffin if they can get the end zone.
Charleston is even disappointed that they stopped the clock there. Swearingen with some nifty moves near the line of scrimmage. He's going to get out to the 10. And LA will burn their second timeout. They'll have one remaining.
Yeah, this will be key here. 2 more plays to stop Charleston from getting to the end zone, essentially, as the first down marker is at the 2. You could basically call it goal line situation here for Charleston. But LA needs to step up here to stop Charleston and basically force him into a field goal.
Johnson, handoff again to Swearingen, and again, LA will stop him before the line to gain. They will have no more timeouts, no further way to stop the clock as we stop it at 1:44 with 3rd and 5 to go.
Now LA has 5 yards to prevent Charleston from running this entire clock out. Just one play that's needed so they can get Brad Bretchett out on the field, kick the field goal, and they're not going to have a lot of time to get to the end zone, so they have to get their man down quickly.
Offset eye. Swearingen with the carry. Good blocking up front. He's getting close. He's got it. First and goal from the 3-yard line, and that'll pretty much do it here from Charleston, as it's going to be very, very difficult for LA to get the football back.
Yeah, and if they do, it'll be by a miracle, essentially. And you'll see here, we don't see it all too often, but a victory formation inside the 5 happens for Charleston. They are ready to win this one here.
Clock running all the way down, and that is when Johnson will snap it and take a knee. Hats off to the Predators on offense as well. They fought and they clawed their way back into this ball game, even when LA was clearly seizing all momentum. And they took advantage of it, and they did so on this final possession when they needed to.
Yeah, and it just felt like Los Angeles had all the momentum getting into this fourth quarter as well, because they got their leading score, making it 14-13, and their defense was stepping up big time. But Charleston, in response, got the field goal to get up by 2 and got themselves in prime positions to stop LA. Like, LA had a lot of opportunities that were very tough for them inside the 20 a lot of these times starting their drives, and Charleston was just up and ready for it. And this is the defensive performance that's going to get them back to the elite defense that we've known Charleston to be over the last couple seasons.
As the clock hits triple zeros, the Charleston faithful celebrate as they move to 2-2 on the year. LA falling to 2-3 as we get a look at the final game stats and highlights. What jumps out at you, Brett?
The big thing here is that Sully Richardson was basically a non-factor in the passing game. Only 151 yards that you see over there. Just fantastic work by the secondary of Charleston. And that might be because they forced Sully Richardson to throw 2 early interceptions in this game and kind of shake his momentum. And that's probably one of the key factors as to why it just didn't seem to work out all that much. And it seemed like Sully was starting to get going a little bit, and Charleston did a great job just, pushing them back after, 10, 12-yard receptions, or, the big 40-yard run by Logan Jack. It's just great responses from the Charleston team. And if I can steal what Cameron Irvine up in the producer booth was saying, getting close to the end of this fourth quarter, he said this was probably the best defensive line matchup he's ever seen between these two teams. Just incredible work on both sides, and give credit to both these defensive lines, punishing, both quarterbacks and running backs, essentially stuffing their game. You might have seen 100 plus yards from one of the running backs, but they did a fantastic job limiting the options.
And player of the game honors are going to go to Keith Swearingen, 25 runs for 128 yards and a rushing touchdown with 70 receiving yards to boot. Well, on behalf of Brett Stolberg, Ron Haynes, and Gerald Smith in the Stats Truck, Commissioner Producer Extraordinaire Cameron Irvine, my name is Eric Vinson. We thank you for tuning in to this presentation of the Simulation Football League, and we look forward to further coverage tomorrow starting on Next Level Sports. We'll see you then.
Beardo.